Nath, and please get the round of applause ready for an Australian entrepreneur, fitness advocate, social media influencer who has built a thriving brand around health, wellness and empowerment. Known for her down-to-earth personality and commitment to a balanced lifestyle, she has inspired millions with her fitness programs, lifestyle content and a passion for self-care. Through her social media platforms as well as her business ventures such as the fitness app Keep It Cleaner, she continues to motivate her audience to lead healthier and happier lives. With a focus on authenticity and inclusivity, she has become a prominent voice in the wellness community. And in addition to her entrepreneurial achievements, she is a vocal advocate for body positivity and self-love. Her transparency about the ups and downs of her own personal and professional journey have made her a role model to many. Outside of her business endeavors, she also shares her experiences as a wife and mother, creating a sense of connection with her followers. And you can tune in to Kick Pods. It's My ADHD, a powerful miniseries hosted by this lady. It's on Lister right now. Please welcome to the show, Steph Smith!
Wow! That was possibly the longest, nicest intro I've ever got.
Yeah, it is. So we wanted you to make you feel comfortable because in podcast world you've got so much more time. In radio you don't. So thanks for that, Steph. We'll see you later. Steph, thank you so much for coming on the show. Big fans of yours. The first thing I wanted to say is that I told my wife that we had you on, and we've had so many different guests on over about 14 years of radio, and she has never really given a shit until now.
I love that.
Do you get that reaction from a lot of people? Obviously, you've built this incredible brand, and you and Laura have the podcast as well. But do you get people coming up to you and messaging you about, how much of an impact you have had on their life?
Yeah, and honestly, that is the most rewarding part of what we get to do, is when we get to hear what impact we've had on some of these people. And often it is, someone in their 20s or early 30s within our community that will kind of walk up to me and say something like, I did this as part of the program, or this is how I was feeling before I was a part of Kick and the Kick community, and this is where I'm at now, and I can't thank you enough. And there's just nothing better than that. Like, that is the whole reason we exist, is to better the relationship people have with wellness and themselves. So it's very special when you get to hear it in person.
How did you get into the right headspace then? Because, you came out with your ADHD diagnosis on the podcast, which is, very emotional. I saw so many people sharing that. But then how did you get to the point where you went, all right, I want to do a little mini series about this?
Yeah, even opening up about my diagnosis in the first place last year, in my head I was going back and forth, do I talk about it? Because I'd seen so much negativity online when people were opening up, and I knew that with my following I was probably going to cop it, likely to cop it. Yeah. So I was preparing myself for that, but at the end of the day, as I said, I've always shown up really authentically online. It's obviously a fact, it's a part of who I am, and I knew I wanted to navigate it more, and to do that behind closed doors didn't feel authentic to me. So I wanted to open up, and whilst I was, disappointed with what I did cop in ways, there was also an immense amount of support and so many messages that reassured me it was totally worth it to be open about it.
Did you feel super relieved, Steph? Like, obviously when you get the diagnosis, you're like, okay, I have like this label attached to me now. But were you relieved? Because I have a friend who was recently, she's almost 40, and she was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and she's like, oh my God, Em, I'm so glad there's a reason for why I am the way I am. And now she could start her journey into being the best version of herself.
100%. I think for a lot of people, it lifts so much of that internal shame and guilt that you live with daily. My journal is full of entries of me questioning myself, like, why can't you change this about yourself? Whether it's a trait like tidiness or something about not getting tasks prioritized right, or feeling like I'm falling behind in work, like different things in my life that have reared its head with my ADHD symptoms. Like, in my journal, before I knew that it was ADHD, I was just generally like, what is wrong with you? Like, why can't you do this? Why can't you change this? Why is this so much more challenging for you than it seems to be for everyone else? So it is nice. So it doesn't mean that those things don't happen still. And I'm not on medication right now, so I am trying to learn different tools and ways of managing it without that. But it means that when things do happen, I don't use it as an excuse, but I have a better understanding. And so that internal dialogue just isn't as heavy.
How's the relationship since the diagnosis, with your husband and with you already got one kid, another one on the way. Congratulations, by the way. But how has that changed your relationship with those people and other people in your life, knowing that you now have this diagnosis?
Yeah, for sure. It's made a lot of sense. Like, we've been together now, my husband and I, for 13 years. I've known him for almost 20.
Hang on a minute. Wow.
Yeah.
Guys.
Very
13
good.
years.
Hottest
Jeez.
couple too, can I just say? Oh my God, just hot family in general.
Okay, I told you my wife is going to listen to this. But anyway, Steph, you go.
I mean, whilst I'm really proud of it, the reason why I brought up the 13 years is that he has been around for a really long time. And it's, I think with ADHD, what I've learnt is the symptoms, depending on your lifestyle, can kind of affect you in a different severity level. And I can think over the last 13 years of parts of my life where maybe my responsibilities were a lot lighter. I had a really spontaneous lifestyle. All these things kind of made my symptoms a little bit more mild. And I can clearly see now the difference in our relationship and the way that I show up in our relationship when my symptoms are more mild versus where they're at the moment, which is quite moderate.
Absolutely. Well, Steph, I mean, you are incredibly inspirational. We love having you on the show. We love that you are a part of the listener family as well. You can go and check it out. You can tune into KickPods. It's My ADHD, a powerful mini-series hosted by Steph Claire Smith on Listener. One thing before we do let you go, Steph. Now, I know, of course, you got your son Harvey, another baby on the way. You're not going to find out what the gender is, but have you got a feeling? Have you got a feeling of what we might be having here? What are you thinking?
I genuinely don't. Like, I kind of envy those women who feel like they're so in tune with it that they can picture it. I mean, they're also sometimes wrong, but
It's 50-50, right? Like one day,
Exactly.
I've got 2 kids myself, Steph, and like honestly, especially with the second one, I was like, it's a girl, it's a boy.
Well, I mean,
it's a
Em,
girl.
use your powers, Em. What are you thinking? You do have 2 boys of your own. What do you? I mean, have a look.
Let's have
There's
a look
the
at that
bump.
belly. Okay,
What do you think?
So you're not sitting so high. How? When are you due, by the way?
I'm due mid-May.
Okay.
Okay,
Em,
I'm guessing boy just by the size and
What are
shape.
what are you locking in?
The size and shape, and because the belly is sitting lower. Like my girlfriends, this is so stupid. My girlfriends that had girls sat a lot higher and kind of like came out from under their boobs. Where if you like you can see your boobs, your belly is a lot lower, like mine. And I had 2 boys, so I'm gonna call it as a boy. And being a boy mum, by the way, is really fun.
And now it's time for the real guru, Jim. What's she having, a boy or a girl?
Well, just because I'm a bet man, and Em's already locked in boy, I'm going to lock in girl.
It's a girl. It's
One of us will be right.
Steph Claire Smith, we love you. Welcome on the show anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.